As dinge verkeerd loop, is dit 'n aangemaakte ontwerp van die moenie trek door die wennersparade. Elke enkele skuld was 'n prys wat Jan betaal het voor koor. O, die geskiedenisboeke kry rus. Ons het 'n nuwe ou gevind om op die proef te stel. Sit die portret weg. Bære die ou veerpin. Daar is 'n splinternuwe skat vir die politieke wetsontwerp. Koor, ons verruil die Jankaart vir 'n Trumpkaart. Dis die blinknuwe manier om die blamspel hard te speel. Gaan die krag uit, is die pad vol gate. Moenie na die begroting of die kieserspeilings kyk nie. Draai net daar die kaart om, sien die goue hare. Die dom is die rede vir die slytasie. Ja, ons verruil vandag die Jankaart vir 'n Trumpkaart. Die infrastruktuur verkrummel, die krane loop leeg. Maar moenie vra hoe en moenie vra hoekom nie. Vergeet die jare van dieselfde ou groep. Die oranje man en Daisy kom vir jou. Ongelykheid styg, dis 'n Mar-a-Lago komplot. Hy is so gemeen en boos, glo dit of nie. Die oorspronklike gangster is uit-ideer, want Jan van Riebeeck is nie meer moordnieuws nie. Brug is die nuwe sondebok. Die vars allebei. Wanneer die beloftes in 'n leuen verander, koers sluit aan. Amerika is gemeen, die wêreld is so koud. Dis die beste storie wat nog ooit vertel is. Kry jou kaart, speel jou deel, gitaar, sing dit is solo. Ons ruil die Jankaart vir 'n Trumpkaart. Dis die blinknuwe manier om die blamspel hard te speel. Gaan die krag uit, is die pad vol gate. Moenie na die begroting of die kieserspeilings kyk nie. Draai net daar die kaart om, sien die goue hare. Die dom is die rede vir die slytasie. Ja, ons ruil vandag die Jankaart vir 'n Trumpkaart. Ons ruil die Jankaart, tot ziens Jan, sien jou later. Hallo Don, jy's die heide. Dis nou alles sy skuld, elke liewe bietjie daarvan. Kyk na die kaart, baba. Laaste fonkelende sentklokkie.
The Viceroy of Greenland. First came the Dorset, ghosts of the frost, o'er Baffin Bay where the sunlight is lost. They carved out a life on the edge of the world before the red banners of Vikings unfurled. Then Eric, the outcast with fire in his eye, fled Iceland's cold judgment for a new northern sky. 25 long ships set sail for the west, but the hammer of Neptune put them to the test. 11 were swallowed by the salt and the foam. 14 survived to find a new home. Oh, the ice is a kingdom, the tundra is gold, a saga of iron, a story of old. From the eastern heart to the western shore, the Norsemen are rising to conquer once more. Through the mist and the thunder, the prophecy seen. All hail the Viceroy of Greenland. Oh, 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 oh. All hail the Viceroy of Greenland. 600 farms in a warm epoch's light. 10,000 Norsemen prepared for the fight. From middle to western the settlements grew under a sky of a cold, brilliant blue. But the Thule arrived like a wave from the west. Ancestors of Inuit put to the quest. In a single great surge from the north to the south, they took the cold land from the dragon's own mouth. The Norsemen vanished, the Thule remained. Then the Danes took the coast and the Inuit chained. But when Nazis loomed and the Danes gave away, the eagles of liberty entered the fray. Stars and the stripes over glacier and peak, the giants are waking, the masters are weak. The 47th rose with a plan in his hand. He looked to the north at the great frozen land. I'll buy it with silver, the president cried. But the Danes in their towers, they laughed in their pride. He returned in his glory with a vow and a blade. By gold or by iron, the deal shall be made. Who shall I send to the fjord and the snow? Who is the hero to make the land grow? Oh, the ice is a kingdom, the tundra is gold. A saga of iron, a story of old. From the eastern heart to the western shore, the Norsemen are rising to conquer once more. Through the mist and the thunder, the prophecy seen. All hail the Viceroy of Greenland. Oh, and the will of the storm, the American empire begins to take form. Chris is running the show. Chris is running the
Well, good evening, folks. Calling from a frigid Nuuk, Greenland, where the current temperature is just 29 degrees Fahrenheit. Overcast here in Nuuk. Winds of 8 kilometers from the west. It's cloudy at 1 a.m. here in the morning. Humidity 73%, precipitation 18% chance. It's -2 Celsius here in Nuuk, Greenland. Welcome, your friendly neighborhood viceroy ruling Greenland from high on my roost. On my roost. How did you like my heraldic, heroic Viking song? I need some mead now. How was that, guys? Did you like that? AI can be your friend. No, I haven't seen it. Turns out I'm not in episode 4. I'm in episode 5. So when you get to episode 5, I'm going to be in there, okay? Sounds like Sonja Herholt. Okay. Yeah, I imagine it would be Greenland and Afrikaans. Yep. What do you guys think? You like the song? Do you like the graphic? I didn't have time to make a video. The Norseman, yes. The Viceroy of Greenland. What do you think? That's actually me. My head and my hands anyway. And my body. My ancestors were also Danish. And Norman Vikings. As well as, a few others. You like that? Thanks, Ingrid. I'm glad somebody said something. I was beginning to wonder if I just wasted my time in that. That was fun. That was a lot of fun. I didn't say Eskimos. I said Inuit. Inuit. Did the song say Eskimos? I told it Inuit. I didn't check the lyrics when I didn't have a lot of time to make it. Have some of the articles Juice he sent you. I have no idea what that means. Who is Juice? All I know is Juice Newton. Juice Newton. Juice Newton. Yep. They call me the angel of the morning, angel. Yep. Queen of Hearts. Yep, she's 73 now. Wow. Juice Newton. That's incredible. Wow. Can't believe she's Eddie Rabbit, Juice Newton. What a time. What a time. 73. She went to Lakehurst. Wow. My goodness. She was born Judith K. Newton, nicknamed Juice. Juice Newton. Call me angel of the morning. It's Inuit. I said Inuit. Yes. Queen of Hearts, yeah. Playing with the Queen of Hearts. Stopped watching and after 2 minutes got angry at the Friars and changed channel. Well, great. Then I'm part of that nonsense. But it's I'll take it. It was worth going out to seeing the Hudson-Beck family and the others out there. Yeah. No, I had a feeling it wouldn't go well. But anyway, I don't know. The song is epic, and it is based on history. Yes, I put the history in there. The Dorset people, the Thule culture, the Inuit, Vikings, Eric the Red. Yep, it's all in there. And the Viceroy of Greenland, Chris. Now, we're going to hear that, oh, this guy's so full of himself. He's making songs about being the Viceroy of Greenland. It's tongue-in-cheek for the haters. It's tongue-in-cheek. It's meant to be a joke about what's going on, to be a lighthearted moment. But I must tell you, that Viking looks dead sexy. He is so sexy. Look at that. Ooh, I could just eat him up. I could just eat him all up. Afrikaan's wedding is complete without Queen of the Hearts. Really? I didn't know that. Didn't know that. Just noticed your 250 years poster behind you, Colonel. Oh, that's not a poster. Those are banners. I've got 4 of them. Those are 2, and I'll change them out and swap them throughout the year. Yeah, I could pull off Santa and Viking. Yes, got some work done in storage. It's okay. How did your procedure go? Nicola? Okay, so I'm going to recount my procedure, okay? No helmet with horns. That's just a myth. That's not how it works. They didn't have horns. Okay, so here we go. The procedure. Okay, it took 5 minutes. Okay, so it took longer to do the paperwork and have it explained to me. So I went in. They had a table. I had to open my pants, climb on the table. They pulled my trousers down and just cleaned the spot there. He took an injection to anesthetize me so I wouldn't feel anything. I felt a slight little pinch, a little prick. And then he inserted the needle, and he said I wouldn't feel it. I did feel a little bit. It went in. Then he said he's putting he had the dye go in. But before the dye could go in, he's like, "Whoa, look at that! Whoa, what's that?" The needle went into the joint in my hip, and out came fluid. Woo, baby! 5 cc's of fluid came out of my hip joint. No wonder I was in discomfort. That's what your body produces when there's inflammation in there, in a natural way to try to stop it. But that's part of the problem. 5 cc's of fluid just came shooting right back out the needle. He showed it to me, and he was prepared for it. They expect this. Sometimes it happens, and it filled up. The bottle, 5 cc's, man. So he's down there pushing. I'm like, ow, dude, that hurts. You said it wasn't gonna hurt. I wouldn't feel anything. You liar. They always lie, man. Oh, you won't feel anything. It'll just, the needle go in. We'll use the X-ray. We'll watch it. It won't be a problem. Man, that freaking needle went in. I didn't feel the needle go in, but when I felt a little bit, when he started pushing down and squeezing that freaking fluid out, ouch, 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 ouch. So now, first off, when he laid me on the table, he said, "Can you lay me straight?" Because my foot splays out like this because the hip joint is damaged because of the arthritis and it can't fully rotate out. So he said, I can, but it's painful. It's not comfortable. I can turn it, but then it hits the arthritis and it hurts. So he said, Can you keep it straight? I said, "Doc, I can't. You're probably going to need to strap my foot down because, I'm not going to be able to hold it up. It's too painful." So they strapped me down. The fluid came out. And afterwards I said, "Okay, so is that good or bad? Is that an infection?" And they said, "No, it's not an infection. That's the fluid your body naturally produces. But sometimes you do get infection in there." And I said, "So what color should it be?" And they said, "It should look like apple juice." I'm like, "Well, that looked like apple juice to me." So that's good. If it had been milky, that would have been bad. If it had been, red, that would have been bad. So it was the right color. It looked like, clear motor oil, really clear motor oil. And anyway, took it out. Then he injected the fluid, the medicine in there, and I wasn't supposed to feel it. I felt it. I felt it go in, but it was all over in a couple of moments, so it wasn't a big deal. Anyway, yeah, that was good grief. Yep, that fluid ain't good. Yeah. Yeah, water up to the knee. It's the same thing. So that's what it was. 5 cc's of that fluid, and getting it out. I mean, it shot out. I mean, he put the needle in. He had a little, a little reservoir at the top there, a little glass bottle where, in case something came back. And I guess they expect this sometimes rather than get shot the stuff, because it just came. As soon as the needle penetrated, that's so evacuated. And then, to get the rest of it, he's down there pushing around and squeezing. I'm like, dude. No, I'm embellishing. It wasn't that bad, but they pulled the needle out. They put a bandage on it, and they said, no twisting. Can't lift anything for 2 days. The medicine, the steroid and the medicine won't begin to show any positive effects for 2 days. But I have to admit, with the fluid out of there, I was able to start changing my gait back to a normal gait. And while I was still hobbling a little bit, it was a definite improvement over what it had been when the fluid was in there. Yep. No, it's not bad, Nicola. It's actually better. Afraid of needles? Well, what are you going to do? As long as they're not sticking them in my eye, I don't have a problem with them. How many PSI? I don't know how many pounds per square inch. It's a little bit better. Yeah, I'll bet it hurts in the knee. Well, it wasn't that bad, actually. But the doc was very informative, explained everything, and so I asked him. I said, Doc, listen. I mean, I've seen the X-ray. I can see the arthritis. I know that either we're going to have to advance to where we can get stem cells to repair that, or put robots in there to fix my cartilage, or I'm going to have a hip replacement, which I'm not keen on. I said, but my approach to this, I'm 59 again this year. I said, my approach is that let's try this injection, see if it helps. I know that it isn't a long-term solution. I'm going to have to do it eventually, but right now I've had a lot of travel. I have a lot of people counting on me, a lot of places to go, a lot of responsibilities, and I want to hold off on the surgery for now and see if the injections work. My expectation is if they go longer than 3 months, it's a win. If it's less than 3 months, I need to reevaluate, and we're wasting our time. I said, is my approach sound? He said, yeah, that's a very sound approach. We expect you to get 3 months out of this. If you get more, that's great. Because I told him, I said, when I got the cortisone injection in my bursa sac, which hurt like hell, by the way, 2 years ago, because that wasn't the problem, I had relief for almost 5 months, and then the pain came back. Yep. Talking to Jewish Family Services about my arrival later this month. Okay, that's cool on the move. Good to hear that. Okay. Interesting, Jewish Family Services are relocating all these people who aren't even Jews. Spinal Tap is the most painful. Yep, Spinal Tap is horrible. That's what a terrible name for a band, by the way. Should have covered Reuters article. I hadn't covered it because I haven't got to it. People are asking me about my procedure, man. Come on, Future Looks Bright. It's about me, man. Didn't you see it? You tuned in late. You missed this. Dude, you missed this. Yes, that's the Mexican Coke. Come on, Future Looks Bright. You're late to the game, man. You missed the coolest part of the show. Check out that sexy Viking, man. That dude is so hot. He's scrumptious. I could just eat him all up. Not the Inuit on the left, the dude in the middle. Come on, man. Come on. That is the Viceroy of Greenland with his Inuit staff, his cabinet ministers. All he has is defense and economics. That's all he needs. That's all he needs. Oh, you're right. I didn't see you there. I didn't have time to look at the chat tonight because I was busy coming up with that and other things. Oh, my goodness. Mrs. Learn. Look, that's all I need. I need a cabinet minister for defense and a cabinet minister for economics. That's it. The economics minister can handle the treasury. He can handle trade. He can handle the economy. Boom, boom, boom. And labor. All solved. One office, done and dusted. And defense handles defense, police, internal security, done and dusted. And give defense responsibility for border security and also for aviation security. And it's all done. I have a tiny, flat government, 2 Inuit ministers, and as the Viceroy of Greenland, we will have an annual seal hunt. We'll have an annual, tobogganing off of glaciers into the ocean. We'll do it all, man. It'll be so cool. I will make Greenland great again. I will make Greenland great. The first time since the Vikings, I will make Greenland great again. No, the beard in the middle is fine. Angelique, welcome to you. Proudly Burmeister, welcome. Too cold, Phoenix? That's all right. We'll have a heated pool hall you can hang out in. We will introduce rugby to Greenland. I will bring rugby to Greenland and make Greenland great again. For the first time since Eric the Red, Greenland will be great again. That's right. And contrary to all the other places, the Norse who settled Greenland found a vacant land. There were no Inuit, there were no Dorset, the Thule people hadn't arrived yet. That's right, they began arriving in the north around the time slightly after the Vikings arrived and formed the eastern settlement, the middle settlement, and the western settlement. 620 farms at its peak, as many as 10,000 Vikings living in Greenland, outnumbering the Thule people significantly. They had brief interaction, trading, not much. They didn't really interbreed, and then the Vikings disappeared. They were all taken by aliens to another planet. And when we unearth the Stargate in ancient Egypt, we will be able to venture to that planet and rediscover the descendants of the Vikings who were evacuated from Greenland in the year 1308 by the aliens. Who needs grass? We can put artificial pitch up there. We'll extract rare earth minerals and hold the world hostage. Yeah, it's a novel, man. It is a novel concept. Hence the term novel concept. I'm writing a novel. The Vikings, taken from Greenland, told by the evil overlords who took them to another galaxy that the planet was about to freeze. It was time to leave. Oh, Momo's got bronchitis. Gosh, you guys have a lot of health issues. Sorry to hear that. Pikachu, what's up? What's going on, man? Alrighty, guys. Yeah, so there you go. Artificial grass. No need for cutting. Exactly. Won't need sheep. No Welsh. No Welsh fleshing. Don't need people buggering the sheep. Oh, boy, the Welsh are going to be mad at me for that one. Okay, no Kiwis. All right. So, yeah. So that hip it got drained, man. No, it's not. Eric Von Daniken. Yeah, Eric Von Daniken. Ooh, yeah. Who's the dude? Is that the guy who's got the beard that does the alien, space aliens? What's that guy? He's pretty funny. Stranger in a Strange Land. Hey, Flying Eagle. Greenland's Viceroy will send someone to take part in the annual Iditarod. Yes, Greenland will finally have an entrant in the Iditarod, and we'll have a bobsled team. That's right. I will fund a bobsled team with money I get from Elon Musk. We will have an Iditarod team with money I get from Jeff Bezos, and we will have a censorship team I get from Mark Zuckerberg. No one can say anything bad about the Viceroy. If you say something bad about the Viceroy, we'll send you to Svalbard and put you in that vault with all the seeds. It's the Greenland bobsled team. That's right. Leading the Greenland bobsled team with an artificially repaired artificial hip, it's the Colonel himself, his first Olympiad at the age of 59 again this year, famously known as a 59er again this year. The Colonel leading the Inuit bobsled team down the slopes at Garmisch-Partenkirchen in the 2035 Winter Olympics. Here we go, folks. Here we go. After the first run, it looks bad for Greenland. The Colonel's bobsled team comes in 32nd. 3/100ths of a second off the lead. That's a guy, Giorgio Tsoukalis. That's a guy. That guy's funny. We return now to Garmisch-Partenkirchen to take a look at the updated results. A shocking result here in the second run. The top team was the Inuits and the Colonel from Greenland, who finished a full 1.75 seconds ahead of all competitors to vault up to the number 2 position. They now find themselves in medal contention in this qualifying round. Shocker indeed, ladies and gentlemen. We will return to Garmisch-Partenkirchen and the bobsled race after this message from Jeff Bezos. I know you all don't like to buy my books anymore. We mostly ship garbage from China. And, you know, I pretend to be Cuban, but I was adopted by Cubans. I'm actually a white boy. Both my parents have blue eyes and they're from Texas. But she got knocked up too young, so they gave me away. And I got lucky. I got adopted by rich Cubans. And now I run the world from Amazon's headquarters. And it's not in the Amazon basin. No. Well, I have a super yacht. It's worth $500 million. Ooh, yes. You know where I got that money? From you, suckers. The previous message was paid for by Amazon.com. We go now live, ladies and gentlemen, to Garmisch-Partenkirchen. We've got through the qualifying rounds. We're down to the medal round. It's the former Soviets from Russia in first place. in second place. It's the shocking arrival of the Americans. And having fallen to third now, it is the team from Germany. The Russians, the Americans, the Germans, the first, second, third. But the shocker of this competition as we go to the final run is the Inuit bobsled team led by Colonel Wyatt. And the Inuit team gets ready, sliding back and forth, wearing very sleek outfits paid for by Jeff Bezos from Amazon. Yeah. They're all wearing Amazon.com on their suits. And they're away. And that's a good start. That's the best start of the whole run. A full half a second ahead of any competition. But it gets dangerous here in the bottom third of the race. Let's see how the Inuits do. Oh, they're picking up. They are at a world record pace here at the Olympiad. No, it's not going to. Could it possibly be? The Greenland team has set a world record by 1.35 seconds. Shocking outcome. The gold medal will go to Greenland. The gold medal goes to Greenland. Indeed, it does. It does. Oh, my goodness.
The Viceroy of Greenland. First came the Dorset, ghosts of the frost, o'er Baffin Bay where the sunlight is lost. They carved out a life on the edge of the world before the red banners of Vikings unfurled. Then Eric, the outcast with fire in his eye, fled Iceland's cold judgment for a new northern sky. 25 long ships set sail for the west, but the hammer of Neptune put them to the test. 11 were swallowed by the salt and the foam. 14 survived to find a new home. Oh, the ice is a kingdom, the tundra is gold, a saga of iron, the story of old. From the eastern heart to the western shore, the Norsemen are rising to conquer once more. Through the mist and the thunder, the prophecy seen. All hail the Viceroy of Greenland. Farms in a warm epoch's light, 10,000 Norsemen prepared for the fight. From middle to western the settlements grew under a sky of a cold, brilliant blue.
The Viceroy of Greenland. All right. Yeah, BRICS payment system. There's no BRICS comparison. So you talk about the dollar falling, it has nothing to do with the BRICS. It has everything to do with manipulation of the marketplace. It doesn't support the data. The U.S. dollar is weak because traders are forcing the issue. They can't continue this forever. All right, let's add a few news stories. The Voice also is fit. Yeah, it is. I wanted an epic heraldic theme Vicing. It was quick, Krista. It was quick. I'm a little sore now, and they said I would be sore for a couple days maybe. I know future looks bright. That's why I did it. It's a lark. It's satire. It's humor. That's why I did it. I know someone's going to they're going to look at him. He has delusions of grandeur. Exactly. Anything's possible with Jamaica had a bobsled team. Why can't Greenland have a bobsled team? Money's the question. I just get Jeff Bezos or get Elon Musk to pay for it. February for converting ZAR to dollar. So far, I'm happy about my choice. Well, Rohan, it's working, except that you're in the States now, and you're going to get a crappy rate no matter where you go. A shot, not shots, a shot. Exactly, Darty. I'm just having fun. It is an awesome picture and song. Immediate red cheeks. Yeah, satire is lost on silly people. Indeed, it is. All right, so let me cover a couple of news items. Mad Max threw something up there, but I already had that story lined up, so thank you for that, Mad. Mad Max sent us something, but I already had it lined up. And here we go, folks. Here we go. By the way, there will be some more South Africans landing in the United States in about 7 hours. They're over the South Atlantic now. Yep. U.S. will withdraw from 66 international bodies and treaties. This is a shocker. Among these targets outlined in the presidential memorandum, 31 entities are tied to the United Nations. Trump administration withdrew the United States from 66 international organizations, conventions, and treaties that said it go against the country's interest. According to the presidential memorandum, 31 entities were tied to the United Nations, 35 were not. We will not be part of these institutions to be redundant, scope, mismanaged, unnecessary, wasteful, poorly run, captured by the interest of actors advancing their own agendas contrary to our own, or a threat to our nation's sovereignty. President Trump is clear, we will no longer accept, will be sending these institutions the blood, sweat, and treasure of the American people with little to nothing to show for it. The days of billions of taxpayer money flowing to foreign interests at the expense of the people are over. State Department's order to review the international government organizations no longer serve American interest in February, per an executive order signed by Trump. Rubio accused many entities of being often dominated by progressive ideology. These organizations, from DEI mandates to gender equity campaigns to climate orthodoxy, many international organizations now serve a globalist agenda rooted in the discredited fantasy, the end of history. These organizations actively seek to constrain American sovereignty. Their work is advanced by the same elite networks, the multilateral NGOplex, that have been we've begun dismantling through the closure of the United States Agency for International Development. The UN-related entities that the Trump administration withdrew from include the Department of Economic and Social Affairs, International Law Commission, International Trade Center, Peace Building Commission, Peace Building Fund. Oh, that will be devastating for Africa. UN Democracy Fund, UN Energy, UN Entity for Gender Equality and the Empowerment of Women, and UN University. The non-UN organizations include the 24/7 Carbon-Free Energy Compact and the Commission for Environmental Cooperation. Memorandum cite over 24 hybrid threats, such as the Forum for European National Highway Research Laboratories and the Global Community Engagement Resilience Fund. Wow. Wow. Oh, this is going to set tongues wagging. And here's the statement. My goodness. The United Nations now. How to fold UN flag in the trash. Yeah, Marine Le Pen is right. Between patriots and globalists. Wow. I got what I voted for again. Wow, here's the withdrawal, man. 66 organizations. Wow. I wonder if he's posted that on the White House. Let me see. If that's posted. Merry Christmas. No, that's old. Okay, we want executive actions. Yeah, there it is. Let's see if it lists it. Oh my goodness, here they are, man. Let me just run through them. So, my review of further findings, Secretary of State ongoing remains. Still, so they're looking at more to get rid of. Carbon-Free, Colombo Plan Council, Education Cannot Wait, Hybrid Threats, Freedom Online Coalitions, Global Forum for Cyber Expertise, Global Forum on Migration Development, International Cotton Advisory Committee, International Development Law Organization, International Energy Forum, International Lead and Zinc Study Group, International Solar Alliance, International Tropical Timber Organization, the Pan American Institute of Geography and History, Partnership for Atlantic Cooperation, UN Economic Social Council, International Law Commission, Office of Special Advisor on Africa, Ooh, Peace Commission, Peace Building Fund, Permanent Forum for People of African Descent. There's not one for Permanent Forum for People of European Descent. Why is the UN racist? Why isn't there a forum for the European diaspora? Why only for people of African descent? UN Oceans, UN Population Fund, UN University. My goodness. Yep, the Peacekeeping Fund is going to kill the UN. The U.S. contributes a lot of money to that. Oh, come on. There we go. United States has historically assessed 26 to 27% of the peacekeeping budget. Well, that'll be the end of the DRC mission. That'll be the end of the observer mission in Ethiopia and Eritrea. That'll be the end of these useless missions and a better use of the money. As of 2023, the U.S. accumulated over $1 billion in arrears because we haven't paid that since 2017, even though we gave them money. U.S. remains the top contributor with 26.95% of the budget. Wow. UN peacekeeping, 27% of the budget. Well, that'll kill that. That's done. That fantasy's over. Wow. They're a bunch of nonsense. They're jobs programs for leftists. Yep. Yes, the U.S. needs money much more than ungrateful beggars. Supernatural bodies are cesspool of influence by unelected ideologues. Yep. Yeah, now might be the best time. I don't think the rand is going to keep slipping much further. Or the dollar keeps slipping much further. U.S. will be saving billions here, just like most USAID funding institutions are a big scam. All right, on the move. Get your walk in. These are going so bad in South Africa that Trump doesn't even want us. You'll notice I didn't offer to be the viceroy of South Africa. Yes, they did have a very interesting stone which helped them navigate. It was amazing. And they couldn't figure it out for a long time. They couldn't figure that out for a long time. They couldn't figure it out for a long time. Sunstones. Calcite crystals, what it was. Yeah. It was used to locate the sun in completely overcast skies. Sunstones are also mentioned in the inventories of several churches. Yep. Yep, they were pretty smart. Pretty smart people. They were ahead of their time. 9 Republicans voted with the Dems to give billions to big rich insurance companies Obamacare. What? That's December. That's a procedural hurdle. 9 Republicans defy Mike Johnson, join Democrats. 9 House Republicans bucked their party's leaders today to advance a vote on a Democratic-led health care bill. 9 GP lawmakers' support was key in pushing ahead a vote to extend Obama health care subsidies expired. It's a blow to Speaker Johnson, who argued for weeks the majority of the House Republicans were opposed to extending it. But a significant number of GOP moderates were frustrated their party leaders in the House had done little to avert a price hike. 4 of them signed into a discharge petition filed by House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries. Discharge petition is a mechanism for getting legislation considered in the House floor, even if the majority's leadership is opposed to it. Those 4 lawmakers, Mike Lawler, New York, Brian Fitzpatrick, Pennsylvania, Rob Bresnahan, Pennsylvania, and Brian McKenzie, Pennsylvania. And of course, Pennsylvania is a state where the legislature, where the Supreme Court stole our representation. They changed the boundaries of the congressional districts in the middle of an election year in a denial of the rights of Pennsylvanians and switched our representation in the House of Representatives from 12 Republicans and 6 Democrats. They redistricted it and made it 9 and 9. We lost 3 seats, and that cost us the House when Trump was in his first time around. The scumbag behavior of the Supreme Court of Pennsylvania, which is a partisan operation and violates the United States Constitution, Equal Protection Clause of the 14th Amendment, and violates Pennsylvania's Constitution, which has a similar clause. The evil Pennsylvania Supreme Court, who failed to take cases in clear violation of Pennsylvania's Act 77, violation of election law, stealing an election in 2020. Yeah, so these are 4 people we need a primary. Yep. All right, we need to primary these people. Let me get to my Twitter account, and I'm going to put that in there right now. Need to primary. Okay, so post. These 3 Pennsylvania representatives. Pennsylvania has screwed America. This vote won't get passed, though. This will not pass, trust me. Bresnahan, these are weasels, man. Not members of the House. Ryan McKenzie especially, yep. Can I save this image? Yeah, no, it's not going to work. I got to do it this way. This guy looks like he's about 15. Ugh, these evil bastards. Told you, man, you can't trust Congress. You can't trust Congress. Cannot trust Congress. Yep. Okay, let me put a picture up there so it's worthwhile. All right, there we go. So that's posted on my Twitter account now. I'll pin it to top. Yes, there is still a guy who harvests the material and makes sunstones. They were building a traditional Viking boat to take a voyage using the old methods. Cool beans, Karen. Only 106 likes, huh? Okay. Worked with UNIDO. It was still very young. Igor is just retired with village for politicians and diplomats. Yep. Thank you, Alan, for that heads up. They can ask the bricks for money. Yep. Seeing Musk have a one-on-one dinner with Trump over Christmas is good to see. Hopefully the beef is settled. Yeah, I'm sure it is. Hey, Mr. Echo. He admitted he is not so great with politics. That's someone I would love to meet despite his interesting past. Who's that? Especially new breed, all self-consumed, power-hungry, be trusted. No, they can't. Most of them can't. No, they haven't got what they want. It violates. Well, it's not going to happen. Not going to happen. That hasn't passed the House. So it's a procedural thing. The bill is expected to pass the House on Thursday. So it's going Thursday before the House. If it passes on Thursday, then it goes to the Senate. All but certain to die in the GOP-controlled Senate. That's why they felt that they could do it. The 5 lawmakers who voted advance petition were Nick Loyoda, the other 5, Maria Salazar, David Valadeo, Max Miller, and Tom Keene. Yep. And this interference in the market. Yeah, why they extended for 3 years? To get it beyond Trump. So they hope to beat Trump, beat Trump's successors, so they can keep it permanent. Yep. Subsidies are just making the problem worse. It's kicking the ball down the can. It's making things worse. My money's on Rubio now. After watching him perform lately, oof. Yes, on the 8th, there's a march. Not today, but on the 8th. Oh, I'm sorry. It's already the 8th for you. On the 8th, yes, there's a march. Is it noon? Then I'm going to have to get my ass out of bed early. Yeah, what time is that South Island Communist Party march? Planned at 11 o'clock. Well, that means I got to get up even earlier. Crapola. Okay, so there's a warning put out by the embassy saying that there's a planned march Thursday from 11 to 5. Jeez. This guy's going to be unpredictable. All right, so 11 to 5. Well, 11. That is, oof, that sucks for me. That's 3 o'clock. Wait, no, wait. 7 hours, 5. It's 4 o'clock in the morning for me. I have no idea what that is, Mace. Yeah, Mandami is same messenger and no mention of him being a Nazi. Of course not. My grandfather's name, Stroud, came from the Normans who came and conquered England, battled Hastings, Normandy, apparently so named due to Norsemen. That is correct, Karen. It's named after the Norsemen. So the Vikings kept burning Paris, and Charles the Simple, the king of France, said, hey, look, stop. Okay, I'll tell you what. If you guys quit burning Paris and burning your churches and stealing our relics, I will give you this land over here. Normandy, the land of the Northmen. Yep, my ancestors. They were mostly Danes, a few Frisians and a couple of Norse, but mostly Danes. They came there, and for 100 years, they sent mostly for their wives back from their homelands. They picked up their wives and brought them with them. They bred in a small elite. They ruled over the Celts who were there. And after 100 years, they had become French-speaking Roman Catholics, just like that. And so Norman French is what was introduced into England when my ancestor, William the Bastard, became William the Conqueror at the Battle of Hastings. And a near fight, but either way, it could have gone either way until late in the day when Harold Godwinson was struck down and killed, and then his army melted away late in the day. Of course, his army was exhausted from having marched all the way to Stamford Bridge to defeat Harold Tostig and the Vikings, and then turn around and come all the way back down the country on foot. There were no rails, there were no trucks, no carts, no horses for these people. They marched on foot to get down there just in time to meet William's army at Hastings. Retrospect, maybe they should have met them further up country and defended London and meet them out there. But history is history. So Harold Godwinson was my 34th great-grandfather, and William the Bastard, William the Conqueror, was my 34th great-grandfather as well. Yep. Says 12 is the march. Well, they've got 11 o'clock. If it's 12, that's going to be 5. Maybe I can get up at 5. 4 o'clock is a bit early for me. I'll set it for 5 o'clock, and then I'll go live. And if anybody's there and get some Twitter feeds. Hang on a second here. Trying to send somebody something. Hang on, what is this? Oh. Ewan, what's up? Hey, Hetty McCarty, excuse me. No, I didn't forget them, Martin. That's for another picture. This was my inauguration picture. This is the day I was inaugurated as the Viceroy. There's my cabinet of Inuit advisors. On the left is my defense and security advisor. On the right, my left, is my economic, commerce, and treasury secretary. Yep. There you go. You can see that our Greenland flag is flying proudly with glaciers in the background and traditional Greenland colored huts. There you go. So, no, I didn't forget. Yes, flip the food pyramid. Meat and fats are now a good thing. They always were a good thing. The evil behavior of what's happened since my childhood is just shocking. Look what's happened to America. Sent you an email. Hope you got it, Blue Flame. I did see something from somebody called Blue Flame. Don't remember when I saw that. Let me refresh. No, I'm mistaken. Maybe I'm wrong. Hang on. That's funny. No, I don't see anything. Let me see if I can search for it. Ah, 10:08. Oh, okay. Thank you for right. Okay. Wow, things turned well for you too. That's good. All right. Well, I'm sorry that I wasn't able to help you, but only learned of your plight recently. So, yeah, no, I got it. It just didn't show up initially. I had to look further down. Apparently, the other blue in my internet or in my email. That's great to hear. People at the march will behave themselves. Say, I don't want to be in the news again tomorrow for acts of violence against the U.S. Oh, I would love to see that. No harm come to the U.S., but I'd love to see them try to, paint the fences or throw rocks at the embassy or damage things. I'd love to see it. I would love to see that. Oh, I would love to see that. Just try it. Just try it. The Marines will shoot. Here's a warning. Here's a warning. The Marines will shoot in self-defense. And if you think you can easily run into that embassy, you don't know anything about the structure of that building. Trust me. I have been there many, many times. Yeah, Kosatu, SACP. Yep, exactly. Yep. Super chat, Mad Max. Okay, thank you for that. You sent a super chat? I didn't see that. Let me go back and look at my super chats. I missed that entirely. How the heck that happened? That's not what I want. That's the wrong window. Come on. I want the one that's over here. Okay, there we go. I got to sneeze. Hang on. Like an elephant. Not all embassies, Karen, before they blew up Nairobi and Dar es Salaam, our embassies were very vulnerable. I worked in an embassy in Tunis on the Avenue de la Liberté, which was surrounded by apartment buildings where people could throw rocks and grenades into our compound and kill American diplomatic officials if they wanted to. They could have opened up fire on our compound and murdered people. No. Yeah. So thank you. Supers. Okay. U.S. should never know peace in our country. What a moron. What a moron. What a moron. This communist guy. They just keep pushing the button, don't they? Yep. So this is a threat to the United States.
We are organizing a march to the U.S. Embassy on Thursday. All the alliance components, everyone in South Africa is invited. The U.S. should never know peace in our country when they destabilize other countries. We are organizing a march.
All right, well, that's a video when I'm done. Yeah, they're just making it more obvious. That's all they're doing. Interview with Dr. Mulder. Your questions were, well, very probing. was awesome to see not one answers. Yeah, also, I asked hard questions, didn't I? I asked about whether he was going to stay in the coalition and what would prompt them to leave. I asked what they were going to do for the election, if they thought they would do better. I also asked a question which no journalist ever asked. If you have an outstanding result, given that you haven't been in government in these places, do you have quality people that you can put in the seats? He didn't hesitate to answer any of those questions. That's what a real interviewer does. That's a real interview. It wasn't softballs. I mean, and none of it was antagonistic. They were all fair questions. None of them meant to put him on the spot, although did T went up saying, well, not to put you on the spot. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, exactly. That's what a real journalist does. That's what a real commentator does. That's what a real interrogator does. He asks real questions. And then maybe it looks daunting. What do you mean? They'll accomplish nothing with that march, except they'll confirm that the threats to minorities are genuine. No, the South Africans never apologized. In fact, they've upped the rhetoric and lied about it. The U.S. has not taken action yet. But, wait, there's lots of Fridays for F around and find out Fridays. Lots of opportunity. Yep. Yep. Lots of opportunity. I wish it was like a 3 o'clock thing so I could get some sleep. I have not had much sleep after getting everything I went through today, but tomorrow's a long day too. I've got the veterans things in the evening, and I got the sharpshooters trying to cause trouble there, so I've got a lot of prep for that, which kind of sucks. I'm not going to get rest until Friday, maybe. Also, tomorrow morning I'm supposed to have the cable guys finally show up and trying to figure out why I have this slow connection. No, they won't apologize. Yeah, no, he's not the only one. Pete Hegseth said it too. South Africa won't be looking at war, but South Africa will be looking at sanctions against the country, not against individuals. Thank you, Krista. Go rest now. No, we're just getting started, man. We just got over 200 people watching. We had 300 some people last night, man. I'm getting greedy. After all, I am the Viceroy of Greenland. That's right. And I'm trading in my Jan card for a Trump card. I'm Jan.
Dit jaar was hy die enigste naam. Die ou in die hoed wat al die skuld geneem het. Arme ou Jan met sy Nederlandse oosvloed. Vestig winkel op 'n straat in Kaapstad. Die ANC het 'n gunsteling reël gehad. As dinge verkeerd loop is dit 'n Jan gemaakte ontwerp. Van die moenie trek door die wenners parade. Elke enkele skuld was 'n prys wat Jan betaal het voor koor.
Shame you don't have the FCC to complain to like I do.
Geskiedenisboeke kry rus. Ons het 'n nuwe ou gevind om op die proef te stel. Sit die portret weg. Bære die ou veerpin. Daar is 'n splinternuwe skat vir die politieke wetsontwerp. Koor, ons verruil die Jan-kaart vir 'n Trump-kaart. Dis die blinknuwe manier om die blamspel hard te speel. Gaan die krag uit, is die pad vol gate. Moenie na die begroting of die kieserspeilings kyk nie. Draai net daar die kaart om, sien die goue hare. Die dom is die rede vir die slytasie. Ja, ons verruil vandag die Jan-kaart vir 'n Trump-kaart. Die infrastruktuur verkrummel. Die krane loop leeg.
Greening 40 years ago.
Maar moenie vra hoe en moenie vra hoekom. Nee, vergeet die jare van dieselfde ou groep. Die oranje man en Daisy kom vir jou. Ongelykheid styg. Dis 'n Mar-a-Lago komplot. Hy is so gemeen en boos, glo dit of nie. Die oorspronklike gangster is uit die deur, want Jan van Riebeeck is nie meer mooi. word nie use
Ice Cube's a strategic resource.
Brug is die nuwe sondebok. Die vars allebei. Wanneer die beloftes in 'n leuen verander, koers sluit aan. Amerika is gemeen, die wêreld is so koud. Dis die beste storie wat nog ooit vertel is. Kry jou kaart, speel jou deel, gitaar, sing dit is solo. Ons reël die jou kaart vir 'n trumkaart. Dis die blind nuwe manier om die blamspoel hard te speel. Gaan die krag uit, is die pad vol gate. Moenie na die begroting of die kiesers kyk nie. Draai net daar die kaart om, sien die goue hare. Die don is die rede vir die slytasie. Ja, ons reël vandag die jankkaart vir 'n trumkaart. Ons reël die jankkaart, tot ziens Jan. Sien jou later. Hallo Don, jy's die heite. Dis nou alles sy skuld, elke liewe bietjie daarvan. Kyk na die kaart, baba. Laaste vonkel in die sentklokkie.
Die Jankaart. Los die Jankaart. Bring die Tomkaart. I love it. 6 a.m. East Coast Road is playing softly in the background. We'll check podcast over this live. Okay, Karen. Okay. Xavier, with that lowest speed, lower your viewing rate. Go from HD down to like 720 or something like that. Oh boy. All polar bears must now attend 11 a.m. situation meeting. There is one non-negotiable. In order to accept the Viceroy of Greenland position, I must insist that I be given Carolyn Levitt as my press secretary. All right? She can have the baby first. She can have the baby, and she can have like 6 months to nurse it and raise it, but then I want her as my press secretary. Yeah. Just saying. It's a non-negotiable, Don. You want me to be the Viceroy of Greenland? I have to have Carolyn Levitt. It's pretty simple. It's easy. You can make it happen. I mean, you're after all, you're the most powerful man in the world. I need to add Carolyn Levitt to my staff right there. There's my 2 ministers, and my staff will be Carolyn Levitt. All right? Just saying. You know. Oh, yeah. Last time his appointments, Jeff Sessions and all the people he appointed last time, almost all of them were zeros. This time it's a completely different story. Completely different story. He's had 4 years to prepare for this, and he's got it going on. Viceroy. Provincial government condition, and also ANC 140th anniversary today. Yeah, no, I know. ANC celebrating. That's one reason why they're doing the march today. Michael Blake, thank you for your subscription. There's not many of those tonight. Yep. How are we doing? Just 1 hour in. It seems like we've been at this a lot longer. Wow. Okay. Just having fun, I guess. Oh, you didn't know about Lesotho and SADC in 1998. Oh, yeah, Operation Boleas. In that situation, the deal was the South African government hoodwinked the Botswana Defense Force, which is a professional military. Remember, the SANDF in 1998 was an amalgamation of the guerrilla forces from the Pan-African Congress, the Umkhonto we Sizwe from the ANC, the Bantustan militaries from the Ciskei Defense Force, the Transkei Defense Force, the Bophuthatswana. All of them were brought together, and it was like 180,000 troops on paper. And in those 4 or 5 years, they whittled it back down to the 60, 70,000 range and got down to 60 plus thousand they have today. But what happened is that they, of course, South Africa can't have an unstable Lesotho on its doorstep because it gets its slave labor from Lesotho and employs the slaves in the mines. at substandard wages and domestics. So they can't afford to let Lesotho be unstable. Plus, there's a lot of Sotho that live in Botswana. We don't need them, or not Botswana, in South Africa. We don't need them getting riled up when the Sotho in Lesotho get excited. So South Africa couldn't tolerate a civil unrest in Lesotho. So in order to put top cover over its invasion of Lesotho, it went to SADC and demanded that SADC authorize a peacekeeping mission, which is really a peace enforcement mission, not a peacekeeping mission. There was no peace to keep. So they hoodwinked the Botswana Defense Force to go in with them on the agreement that they would provide the fuel, the logistics, the meals. They would do joint patrols together, or combined patrols, BDF and SANDF. And they did do that, but the BDF had to self-deploy from Botswana, traveled all the way down to Lesotho, no support, no fuel, no rations, no help whatsoever, no clearing of the roads by the South African government, according to the people who participated in it, not according to me. They got to Lesotho, they linked up with the South African forces, and they went on joint patrols or combined patrols. In one of the mountain villages, of course, if you know anything about Lesotho, you know that they have guns. They openly carry rifles and shotguns around. It's part of their culture. I love it. It's like the Wild West. And so in one of these villages, someone dropped a shotgun and it discharged. The SANDF soldiers, many of whom were MK veterans, dropped their rifles and ran away. The Botswana soldiers like, Whiskey Tango Foxtrot. It's just a weapons discharge. So they picked up all the weapons from the South African forces, held on to them until the cowards came back. Yeah. It was in 1998 that it was obvious this wasn't a military so much as a patronage program for caters. Yep, that's what happened in 1998. That's Operation Boleas. Yeah. Now, to my recollection, there was an Operation Boleas 2 the next year, but there's no record of it I can find. Yeah. It's not a country within your country, Ewan. It's a separate country. They won their independence fair and square. The Boers couldn't defeat them. They retreated to Thabo Nchu, and they shellacked your ass. They earned their independence. That's not silly. Yep. Oh, and you should hear, at least 20 years ago, senior Botswana officers who were around when MK was operating in the country, and they were in there, and the South African Defense Force went in there and did raids in Gaborone and took them out and stuff like that. They would joke. We would sit around and talk about MK, and I said, so, MK was operating here, and they just start laughing. I said, why are you laughing? Those guys, those clowns, they couldn't fight their way out of a wet paper bag. That's not what they said. That's my application of the phrase. Yeah, the Botswana Defense Force senior officers, not all of them, but most of them had nothing but disdain for MK veterans because they weren't veterans. They weren't soldiers. They were just thugs. There were actual soldiers in the MK who were trained in Russia and who fought in the bush in Angola, but many of them were murdered by the ANC and Jacob Zuma at Quatro. That's another dirty secret they won't talk about. War crimes and crimes against humanity were committed by the ANC against its own people at their camp in Angola known as Quatro. Yeah, evil bastards. What's sad and disturbing about it, Willem? How did you watch it? How do I watch it? Let me see if I can find it. It's on Netflix? Huh. Oh, okay. Well, somebody said it was woke and they gave up on it. But how do you watch it? It's on CakeNet. Rapidly deployed modular shelter system at Igloo. Exactly. Well, we showed the video of them surrendering earlier. Yeah, future looks bright. Was it objective or was it pushing a narrative? Well, I got proper info on it in 1998. I was serving in Italy when it happened. Oh, okay. Gotcha. Okay. Yep. All right, thank you for the super chat. I'm sorry I missed it the first time around. It happens occasionally. I need a big video. I got no big videos coming here, man. Maybe I'll do one about the march. Okay, so that's the story I haven't gotten to yet that I want to get to. Let me get to it now, and I'll do it for the morning. South Africa says it will not interfere with U.S. refugee program for the white minority. Well, I don't know what program that is. We don't have a program for the white minority.
That are taking place. Some Palestinians.
That's not what I wanted. That's not what I wanted. It must be late. It must be late. I'm late for an important date. Here we go. South Africa will not interfere with the U.S. refugee program for white minority. South African U.S. officials reached an agreement during a closed-door meeting in late December to allow the U.S. to continue its controversial effort to bring white South Africans to the U.S. as refugees. The meeting came after President Trump's signature refugee program was disrupted weeks earlier. At December 23rd meeting, top U.S. diplomat in South Africa, Mark Dillard, received assurances from Pretoria that they would not interfere with Trump's program. We do not agree with the classification of certain South Africans facing possible genocide, but there is a right to move to a destination of their choice is guaranteed, and the government of South Africa won't interfere, said Thabo Taga. South African officials did not fully commit to investigating how a U.S. refugee officer's passport leaked before it was been posted online. Trump froze U.S. missions around the world when he returned during May meeting. Raid resulted in the arrest of 7 Kenyans working as contractors to U.S.-based refugee group over allegations. It's actually a Kenya-based group, violating terms of visas. Now, see, that's the first honest statement there we've heard. State Department said despite the unacceptable events in December, its operations remain unhindered. It said more Afrikaners arrived in the U.S. as refugees in December than any previous month, and the higher numbers were expected in January. Summary was emailed to State Department Refugee Program staff on Monday and labeled sensitive. So someone from the embassy shared that. I guess that was intentional. Yep. Boats and Tage appeared to enter the meeting with the aim of de-escalating. South Africa's Foreign Ministry said the U.S. refugee program contractors was a law enforcement matter, not a diplomatic signal. That's untrue. It was meant to embarrass the United States. They offered a tepid pledge to investigate the leak. They don't need to investigate it. They know who did it. They did it intentionally. Boats acknowledged the need to find out what happened and gave Tage a look that questioned why he would object to an investigation. Reporting by Ted Hessen. Oh, yeah, you talked about Lesotho. They drove in and looted the alcohol. Yeah, they got a medal, exactly, for coming in. Yep, you're right about that. I didn't even go into that. I wasn't trying to be, piling on, just telling the truth. Yeah, the white minority narrative is annoying as hell. I agree with you. I'll make a video as soon as we're done here. As soon as we're done here, I'll make a video about that. Hopefully it'll do well. And then I'll also make a video. Actually, I'll make the video about the March 1st because that's coming up quickly. Yeah, you're right. For the first time in decades, we're only allowing improperly vetted refugees, and they're South Africans. Yep. Yep. Exactly. And when you dared to ask something, you got the hush sign. Huh? What are you talking about, Maze? Not to speed ever. What is that? Maze, what are you talking about? Oh. Arctic communication latency. Eat a lot of bird seed. What are you talking about, Jason? Oh, the news you were given back then. Gotcha, Maze. I didn't understand. Thank you. Now I get it. Yeah. No, you don't have to shut up, Maze. I just was confused. Don't shut up. I'm just confused. Yeah, I'm confused about whether you're talking about the 1990s or you're talking about some lady today. I get confused. You guys have a conversation. I'll butt out of your conversation. I'll butt out. You guys figure out what you're going to figure out. Yep. I will make a video about this. Yep. Writers. Ted Heston wrote that. That's the guy I know. But the thing is, guys, there's more to refugee. If you're interfering with refugee, they delay your birth certificate. They delay your passport. They harass you. They dox you. All of those are ways to interfere with the refugee program. The fact that they won't actively violate the Vienna Conventions is encouraging, but I don't believe it either. They'll park people out there with cameras intentionally trying to frighten refugees. Ever shot an what's an material rifle? I don't know what an anti-material rifle is. I've shot anti-aircraft guns and artilleries. Good morning, Dion van de Westhuizen. What's the word, man? What's the word? Jan. We're trading in a Jan card for the Trump card, man. It's so awesome. Get yourself a Trump card today. Today. It's the one. It's the one you want, man. That's the cool one. All right. Emergency alert for U.S. citizens. Plan alternate routes. That's pretty easy to do in Hatfield. There are plenty of alternate routes to get around it. Not ideal, but they're alternate. But, you know, there's the University District, which isn't great, and there's north of Skuman. So, I mean, you can plan it. But, yeah. March on Pretoria. This is how we do it. This is how we do it. I didn't sleep for 2 days, said the Southampton Communist Party's Saleh Mapia. Oh, poor boy, didn't sleep. I'm not the garden boy. Oh, that's a good thing, my friend, because you probably couldn't pull off being a garden boy with your buddy Bakachile. Bakachile, yeah. Not the garden boy. Yes, making Ian Cameron rise to fame. March the embassy in solidarity with Venezuela's Maduro. Oh, Maduro. Southern Communist Party mounts his plans to march on the U.S. Embassy. Oh, do it. Oh, my goodness. They're celebrating the life of Joe Slovo, a commie Eastern European Jew. A commie, another one of the South Africa's Ferrayas. Did I ever do any work or study the coup in the Transkei? Yes, I'm familiar with it. I didn't write on it. That's what you're asking. Sold your car. Now we can go for interviews. Okay, well, Marissa, that's good and bad news. Now, how do you get around this question? But I got you. All right. So we got another posting here. Oh, yes. Go to the site. YouTube. X. I got logged out of X early. I had to change my password. A little bit disturbing. Oh, that's the guy who was shot. Oh, my God. There's Donovan Hayes. They've got a Back a Buddy program for Donovan Hayes. Let's see what's going on there. 400,000 is the goal. Oh, 1 million is the goal. Wow. They got 400,000. That's the man who was shot in the head and a gun held to his daughter's head. Clarksthorpe. Arrived home minutes before the New Year started to be greeted by violent armed robbery. He managed to get his wife, Claudette, and 2 children out of harm's way by fighting to get them behind the security gate when he was shot several times. He's in ICU in Clarksthorpe. They removed his kidney. He doesn't have any medical aid. Wow. Wow. That's crazy. All right, time to donate. Once off. Man, oh man, oh man. Unbelievable, folks. Yeah, that's just terrific. And the money won't be raised for others. It's good that they're trying here. So, but we'll probably hear that. Why only for the whites? Why isn't it? Why isn't it? Hang on a second here. Oh my goodness. Let's see if they're working. Sometimes Back a Buddy just doesn't work. I'm so sick of this. People being targeted like this. See if it works. Doesn't seem to work. Success, okay. Sorry, guys. I just want to get this donation in. All right, so it's there now. So if anybody wants to donate, here's the link. If anybody wants to do it, don't feel compelled, but if you want, obviously there's a lot of sympathy for the family, so there are people donating, but you don't feel obliged. But if you can help a little bit, where the hell is my stream at? There we go. Let me. So here we go. That's not the one I want. Should be this one here. There we go. All right, there's the back, buddy, if you want to do it. We are related. Then we are related, my friend. Okay. Not sure if this has been asking, but India's now the refugee program will continue beginning of February. One ends. There's. What are you talking about? Okay, stop. What are you talking about? One ends. What ends? That you need to tell me. Where are you hearing that bullshit? One ends. Yeah, Bill, I'm sure that, I believe that is still paying this debt, which is more than $1 million. CCR, you need to tell me what you're talking about. You can't answer a question like that. Yeah, no, the medical, the Minnesota thing is definitely crazy. We haven't even talked about that. That's what I want to talk about in the stream. So we should talk about that. Yep. So there you go, folks. I don't know if anybody else wants to help, but you're welcome to. The Daoud family in the U.S. gave $150. Lots of anonymous, man. It doesn't take much to raise that kind of money, man. I mean, you know, they're at 400,000, get $1,000,000 for that. So that's 1,000 people donate 1,000 rand. That's there are plenty of people who can afford 1,000 rand. I don't know, Jules will. All right. All right, so that's up there, Donovan Hayes. So let me save and mark that one. So I've got it. Okay. Anyway, yeah. So the Minnesota thing. Let me get to that. So the woman was identified tonight, who was in the Minnesota raid, who got herself killed by attempting to run over a law enforcement officer. There's no graphic stuff in this, so we can show this on YouTube without fear. So, Renee Nicole Good, identified by mother as woman fatally shot by ICE agent in Minneapolis after she drove her car at an officer. The woman gunned down by an ICE agent in Minneapolis had been identified as 37-year-old Renee Nicole Good, who described herself as a mother, a wife, and a poet. She was identified by her mother hours after she was killed when she allegedly tried to ram ICE agents on the street in the city. Renee is one of the kindest people I've ever known, her mother, Donna Ganger, told the newspaper. That's her partner, her lesbian partner. Video appeared to show her Honda pilot making contact with an ICE agent as he opened fire. President Trump and other officials said the killing was justified. Her mother said she was extremely compassionate. She's taken care of people all her life. She was loving, forgiving, and affectionate, and she was a domestic terrorist. Amazing human being for a domestic terrorist. She was probably terrified, saying the circumstances of her death were stupid. Yes, stupid people cause stupid things to happen. She was a writer, a poet, previously married to a comedian who died in 2023, also at the age of 37. Wife, a mom, and a crappy guitar strummer from Colorado experiencing Minneapolis, read her Instagram, which was accompanied by a pride flag and she, her pronouns. She was killed in a middle-class neighborhood in South Minneapolis where agents were carrying out an immigration operation. There she is, pulling away and getting shot. You see the ICE officer's arm is trapped inside the door while the other one shoots. Here's the ICE agent being rammed by her. Among several people allegedly blocked the street. They didn't allegedly. We saw them blocking the street with their vehicles to prevent the agents from moving. Why did they say allegedly? You can see it in the video. Agents got out of their block truck and ordered the woman to move her car, at which point she sped towards one of the officers, pushing him with her vehicle. As he spun towards the driver's seat, he fired 3 shots. That's after he fired the initial shot. He fired the first shot as he was struck. And that, I think, was the one that killed her. That's her minivan running into other people's cars. They become victims in this mess, too. There's the airbag. You can see it deploy when she hit the other car. And she was covered in blood. That's the first round he fired as she approached, proving that he was in front of the car. It's a straight shot when he hit her. She was shot at least once in the head and later pronounced dead. Department of Homeland Security called her a domestic terrorist who attempted to kill federal agents. One of these violent rioters weaponized her vehicle, attempting to run over law enforcement officers and attempt to kill him, an act of domestic terrorism. Her mother was baffled at the idea of her being involved in an ICE protest. Well, that's because her partner led her down there. Yep. Footage taken near the scene showed a distraught woman claiming to be Good's wife, who sobbed as she said the shooting was her fault and that she had a young child at school. They shot her in the head. I have a 6-year-old in school, she appeared to say, telling a bystander that they were new to the area and she didn't know who to call. I made her come down here. It's my fault. They just shot my wife. Well, obviously she moved to Minneapolis to be a domestic terrorist. Blood. She may have been a good person, but who made a terrible mistake by ignoring the instructions of law enforcement, followed by her driving her car into one. Officer did what he should have done, protect himself and others nearby any way he could. Perhaps if politicians and talking heads, Democrats, would stop promoting the antagonism of ICE and the civil disobedience that goes along with it, people wouldn't put themselves in these situations. It was bound to happen at some point, and everyone knew it, especially those pushing for these actions. Condolences to her family, but had she followed orders, this would not have happened. Extending sympathy and empathy to the ICE agent and his family who shot her because she was trying to kill him. He's in the hospital because she struck him with her car. I can only imagine what this poor man is going through, having had to kill someone who was trying to prevent him from doing his job. She was among several people who blocked the street with their vehicles to prevent the agents from moving, according to the Department of Homeland Security. She had been harassing them all day and used her car to block them. Then she was told to get out of her car, so she drove into one of them. You don't do that if you aren't prepared for consequences. Yep. Parents identify the woman fatally shot by ICE officer in Minneapolis. Minneapolis Police Chief Brian O'Hara told CNN Wednesday night a few thousand protesters remain in the city at least 3 different locations. They've canceled leave and recalled personnel and said that adding that he and the mayor have been worried for weeks over ICE operations because you don't cooperate with them. You have precipitated this crisis. You are responsible. The Minnesota Star Tribune identified the victim as Renee Nicole Good. No, she's not a victim. The perpetrator. She's a perpetrator. She attempted to murder an ICE agent. She's a perpetrator, not a victim. Citing an interview with her mother, Donna Ganger. She had a good life, but a hard life. She was a wonderful person. No, she was an attempted murderer. Yep. Minnesota Governor Tim Walz said Trump will make it about me as he blamed Trump for the shooting. Such an arrogant ass. Oh, I like this. As the woman begins to reverse, one of the officers reaches out and holds on the door handle. The vehicle then starts rolling forward. It didn't roll forward. She accelerated forward. Jeez, unbelievable. Unbelievable. Oh, they're already spinning it. Tim Walz is already spinning it. Already spinning it. Shameful people they are. They're absolutely shameful people. Let's see if there's any news that's come out since I went live on this issue. People keep interfering with law enforcement. Future looks bright because it's been tolerated, especially black men. And that's not a mark on black men, but the bottom line is many black men are arrogant when police approach them. And the fact of the matter is that more white Americans are shot by police than by black officers than the reverse. Yeah, he could have jumped out of the way. On that ice, yeah, sure. Yeah, accelerated. I saw it. Heat-seeking bullets. What is that, stupid? Yeah, that's right. This is a distraction. They wanted to distract from the 9 billion. It's recorded multiple angles. I've got it, but I'm afraid to show it because YouTube will take my channel down. They'll let other people show it, but if I show it, they'll come after me. I guarantee that. So the Minnesota governor wants to use the National Guard. What, to go after ICE? Yeah, don't even try it, buddy. Minnesota Governor Timmy Walz says he's preparing the National Guard amid fervor over ICE shooting. Issue an order to prepare the state's National Guard while urging peaceful protests. No, he should urge no protests. He should urge people to go home and be safe. We have someone in the car dead for no reason whatsoever. No, I'm sorry, Tim Walz, you're a lying sack of horse manure. She's dead because she attempted to murder an officer, executing federal orders legally. Exactly. If that wasn't fearing for your life and acting in self-defense, then what is? When a one-ton vehicle is aimed at you, what are you supposed to do? Exactly. Exactly. I mean, if he jumped, he might have discharged his weapon and killed his partner or injured someone else in the public. That would have been irresponsible. Went to the emergency at 3 in the morning from pain. Medical aid was accepted. You still owe them $1,800 copayment. That's crazy. Well, they gave warnings. They told her to get out of the vehicle. She is the architect of her own demise. It's as simple as that. Architect of her own demise. They came there intending to obstruct a federal operation. Yep, they gave warning. They gave more than one warning. Actions have consequences. Just like Ashley Babbitt. I know a lot of people have sympathy for Ashley Babbitt, but I have very little. She didn't deserve to die. I'm not saying that. But her death is a consequence of her own stupidity. She had no business in the Capitol building. She had no business in the Capitol building. So I'm consistent. I said that in my video. By the way, folks, you should watch my video. It's on the other channel. Here it is. Let me get it. Let's made a video about this earlier. Here it is. It should be this one. Let me see. Copy. Let me go there. Paste and go. See if that gets it. There you go. Oh. I didn't have time to make a thumbnail. It only has 60 views. Chaos in Minnesota tonight after an obstructionist blocked federal agents from performing their official law enforcement duties as part of Immigration Customs Enforcement, and then attempted to run over a federal agent who fired in self-defense. Lots of argument, lots of pundits, lots of Monday morning quarterbacks judging what happened here, but you have less than a second when a vehicle is coming at you like that. You have to make a decision. Was the use of deadly force justified? Well, Minnesota officials, elected officials, acting irresponsibly, including Governor Tim Walz, who's basically calling for people to rise up against the federal government in peaceful protest. Instead of calming the situation down, he is inciting violence. The same state where the insurrection began over the fake convicted murder of a police officer over a death involving George Floyd back in 2020. The same state where all this chaos started. The cesspool of leftist hatred of America. And it's out in full force. Keith Ellison, Attorney General of Minnesota, Timmy Walz, the Stolen Valor Governor of Minnesota, and of course Ilhan Omar, the Somali-American Congresswoman from there, all having things to say tonight, as well as President Trump. For his part, Governor Walz initially incited people to protest and rise against the government. Later, at the end of this video, I'll show you where he showed a sense of calm and backtracked on that, which is good to see. Perhaps he's growing up finally.
I want Minnesotans to hear this from me. The desire to get out and protest and to speak up to this administration of how wrong this is, that is a patriotic duty at this point in time. But it needs...
Is it just me, or is the sign language lady suffering from severe constipation? Does she have Crohn's disease? Is it necessary to make those evil, disgusting, vile faces when communicating in sign language? I don't think so.
To be done safely, and I think the commissioner simply just laid out some of those parameters. We can do that. This is the peaceful resistance that we need.
The peaceful resistance that we need. No, we need people to obey law enforcement. This tragedy was entirely preventable. Had these people not obstructed federal justice, these leftist lunatics bring their own demise. This is the sort of activity that's been getting away with in this country for years because federal and state law enforcement officials refuse to obey and enforce the rule of law. selective enforcement over their cowardice at being called racist. This time it appears that a white woman was involved, so at least the racism lie won't come about. You do. So that was earlier. That's some other channel. Please become a subscriber there, folks. For the first time in a running 28 days, I actually have a gain of subscribers since I opened it back up 2 years ago. Well, it's not the first time, it's the second time. The Fall of Minneapolis recommended watching the documentary film. Okay. Do people block fair? Okay, what the hell is up with science? Yeah, I agree. Light Rain, we agree the same. I said she caused the crisis. She didn't deserve to die. The officer shot her doesn't deserve. He deserves to be in prison for negligent homicide or manslaughter. Take your pick. Tim is inciting people to protest. What got them where they are now? Exactly. Minnesota is a cesspool of horrible. Where is Shawnee? Shawnee's not here tonight. Shawnee lives in Minnesota. She was on the radio program earlier. I hate this. It doesn't stay with the next one. I don't know why it doesn't do that. Okay, so now I've got a wanted criminal in my view. This is a person that should be arrested on a federal indictment for the following charges. I would like to see the following charges against this individual. The mayor of Minneapolis, St. Paul, Mr. Frey, for insurrection, inciting violence, obstruction of justice, harboring felons, and, well, just for being incompetent. Just for being incompetent. I don't know why, that's what closed captioning is for. I don't need to see that person, having a coronary standing there making obscene gestures trying to convey sign language. It's very disruptive and very disturbing. It's unnecessary. Unnecessary. So we had some big news tonight. The Minnesota shooting, Trump leaving 66 international organizations, Obamacare subsidies being passed by betrayers in the House. No, he shouldn't lose his job. He didn't have seconds. He had less than a second. And he got her. He got her. No, you don't have to be in law enforcement to understand. I was in uniform, the military. I know how it works. Trained in firearms extensively and the use of deadly force and as a National Guard. And our job is to put down protest and protect people. I've done that as well. Yep. Yep. Anyway. Yep, that's what the deal is with that. So, 1,400 people here tonight. Did we get any super chats? We got a little bit of super chat. Just double checking on that. We got 239 likes. That's not bad. Okay. No, you bridged the fine, Light Rain. You're fine. Your assessment is good. I'm going to have to start calling you the second voice of reason. Light Rain, you've been around a long time, but, I mean, you're earning that title. Charles Van Olsen got it first, but you're earning it, man. You're the American voice of reason. We've got Charles, who's the South African voice of reason. Yep. Yep. The Obamacare was mentioned. I mentioned in here the subsidies. The Republicans voted. We had 9 Republicans betray the nation and vote with the Democrats to put this on the floor. The vote will be Thursday, so they'll vote on it now. We'll see what happens. It will be defeated in the Senate unless we're betrayed completely. Yep. On her part, attempted murder, absolutely. Absolutely. Not by the officer. No, the officer, he fired within the rules of engagement. The use of deadly force, I've read the book on it from Homeland Security, how he can use deadly force, and he was spot on. So he didn't do anything wrong from what I can see. They're all trying to say he was already away from the vehicle. No, he wasn't. First shot was straight through the windshield and right at her head. Yep, right at her head. And apparently he hit the mark. I don't know where the next 3 wound up. Yep. Bad decisions. This is the problem. People don't understand the dynamics of crowds. Crowds get out of control. People do things in crowds they would never do otherwise. They get emboldened by being in a crowd. And they do stupid things. It's simply the truth, folks. Crowds are bad. Good people in crowds, bad. Bad people in crowds, horrible. It's never a good outcome when there's a crowd. Never. Never. When something goes wrong. That's the problem. People who would never have acted the fool act the fool in a crowd. And that's what this woman did. She acted the fool. I don't know what she thought she was accomplishing. These people are armed. They have firearms. You're endangering public safety. But she's not bright enough to think about that in those moments. Yep. Yep, mob mentality is what happens. Oh, now these glasses are filthy. Gee, many crickets. I thought I was cleaning them. I made them worse. I can barely see through them now. Don't I have a cleaning rag here somewhere? I had a cleaning rag. I'm not used to wearing glasses still. I'm trying to get used to it. What's that? Ah, come on. I thought I had a cleaning rag here. Oh, well, I'll have to clean it after the stream because I cannot see out of those now very well. The bullet could not have entered from an angle. Give me a break. And it doesn't matter whether entered from an angle or not. She hit him and then he shot her. And not in retribution. He shot her as he was falling away from the vehicle and still hit her. Oh, wow. The Arab guy from Australia. So, okay, check this out. Australia, the paradise, okay? But the guy who was shot, who disarmed the murderers, the Islamic fanatics in Bondi Beach, has had to come to New York for care. He came to New York for care. Doesn't Australia have world-class medical systems? Bondi terror attack hero Ahmed al-Ahmed arrives in New York for treatment, declares support for Trump. He's a hero of the world. I love him. He's a strong man. I think Donald Trump, yeah, they should meet him. Check this out. This is the guy who tried to stop the attack. Yep, he wound up getting shot because he didn't know how to respond to someone with a firearm.
You guys see Mr. Trump while you're here?
We'll see.
I wish. You want to see him?
He's a hero, of course, of the world. I love him. He's a strong man.
Australia thanks you, Ahmed. Thank you so much.
You guys see Mr. Trump while you're here?
Looks like they saved his arm. That's good news. Looks like they saved
You guys see Mr. Trump while you're here?
Sorry, I'm trying to save it. Yeah, I want to save that video. Wow. So yeah, he comes to New York for care. What's going on there? It looks like his arm was saved. That's some good news. Good morning, Coco. Psychology around crowds and how that would be normal. People start doing things that wouldn't go against their morals. Yep. Okay, Xavier, got to see you go. Did you say he came to New York? He did come to New York. It won't make them think twice. They'll keep doing stupid things. And they'll antagonize the police. You saw them today. They were throwing rocks and snowballs at cops. And they're throwing it at the Minnesota police, who weren't even there, and the Minnesota State Troopers. His family got the residency expedited. They should have been granted citizenship. I mean, seriously. Yeah, he doesn't trust the Australian government care, probably. Yeah, Israel does have world-class hospitals. But they also get hit with missiles from Iran frequently. All right. No, I didn't see what Will said, Karen. I saw a video where a lady showed how many of the same protesters at the protests in different places across the country. Yeah, no, they're paid protesters. We know about that. Well, this one's not getting her paycheck. Not getting her paycheck. These people are treasonous. They're seditionists. They're insurrectionists. They should be rounded up. Yep, they should be rounded up. Well, I interviewed on my radio program. We interviewed the guy that does professional crowdsourcing. He was a college student, and he started making money off crowdsourcing. He makes a ton of money off of it now. Sure does. Sure does. Crazy, isn't it? But true. Crazy. Patsy Cline. I'm just crazy for you. Yep. Oh, my goodness. My interview with Dr. Mulder has hit 26,000 views. And that was a live stream, so that's all after the fact. Good Lord. I didn't even see this. Oh, that can't be right. Hang on a second. It's showing me 4 hours. It's much longer than 4 hours. Let me update that. Come on. That's still not right. It says 4 hours. What the hell? 26,800 views. This date is all screwed up. Last 60 minutes, last 48 hours. Let's go with that. So I got 3,000 while it was on, 5,000, 6,000, then 4,000, 3, 2, 9. So now it's down to a couple hundred. But yeah, wow. That live stream did very well. Got only 6 subscribers. That's not great. Wow. 48 comments. No, that's not it. 243. No. Where's that? 237 comments. Okay. Okay. Okay, a lot of people saying the Freedom Front Plus has their vote. Wow. Well, that's good. That might explain why I had a decent day. It wasn't a great day, but a decent day for views on the program. Oh, yeah, no, I'm Biz News. I'm the top scorer again. Neil's not around anymore, so I'm the top guy, I guess. Yep. Why don't more of those Biz News guys come over and watch my stream? What the hell? What's with the data with tonight with YouTube? There it goes. Yeah, so yeah. Had another 100,000 view day yesterday, which is good. And we're up to 120,400 subscribers. So December 31st, we were at 119,584. So we haven't quite gained 1,000 subscribers. We've gained 898 subscribers in a week. A little over 100 a day. Yep. Also, her husband still goes obstructing justice while she has children. School now her kids grow up with a wife. Correct, Rohan. If Alex Hogue actually interviews you. Well, Alex doesn't want to interview me, future. Doesn't want to interview me. And I don't think Chris wants to let me go. Well, not agreeing with Durko doesn't make you a racist. Advocating for advantage of one racial group over another or disadvantage for one racial group over another makes you racist. These people are dumber than rocks. Yeah, mental illness. They all have Trump derangement syndrome. I told you Trump derangement syndrome is a true psychosis, folks. It is a true psychosis. Iran is pulled out of the naval drills. I haven't seen that. That would be fascinating. Where are you getting that from, Mad Max? Where is it being reported? That would be fascinating to see if that's true. That would be fascinating to see. That would be fascinating to see. All right. Wow, we've gone a lot longer than I intended to. I was going to go an hour and a half. We've gone 2 hours. So it's time to wrap it up here. Okay. Oh, that guy. Okay. Thank you. Don't know if it's true. Yeah, I'm not going to go to sleep. I've got to make a couple videos. Yeah, other things in the naval drills. Yep. Yes, I'm participating in scams. Yep. All right, Willem, take care. All right, so we'll play the Viking song on the way out. How's that? Play it. You guys want to hear that again? The Viceroy of Greenland. I'll play that on the way out. How's that?
The Viceroy of Greenland. First came the Dorset, ghosts of the frost, o'er Baffin Bay where the sunlight is lost. They carved out a life on the edge of the world before the red banners of Vikings unfurled. Then Eric, the outcast with fire in his eye, fled Iceland's cold judgment for a new northern sky. 25 long ships set sail for the west, but the hammer of Neptune put them to the test. 11 were swallowed by the salt and the foam. 14 survived to find a new home. Oh, the ice is a kingdom, the tundra is gold, a saga of iron, a story of old. From the eastern heart to the western shore, the Norsemen are rising to conquer once more. Through the mist and the thunder, the prophecy seen. All hail the Viceroy of Greenland. Oh, 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 oh. star's light. 10,000 Norsemen prepared for the fight. From middle to western, the settlements grew under a sky of a cold, brilliant blue. But the Thule arrived like a wave from the west. Ancestors of Inuit put to the quest. In a single great surge from the north to the south, they took the cold land from the dragon's own mouth. The Norsemen vanished, the Thule remained. Then the Danes took the coast and the Inuit chained. But when Nazis loomed and the Danes gave away, the eagles of liberty entered the fray. Stars and the stripes over glacier and peak, the giants are waking, the masters are weak. The 47th rose with a plan in his hand. He looked to the north at the great frozen land. I'll buy it with silver, the president cried. But the Danes in their towers, they laughed in their pride. He returned in his glory with a vow and a blade. By gold or by iron, the deal shall be made. Who shall I send to the fjord and the snow? Who is the hero to make the land grow? Oh, the ice is a kingdom, the tundra is gold. A saga of iron, a story of old. From the eastern heart to the western shore, the Norsemen are rising to conquer once more. Through the mist and the thunder, the prophecy seen. All hail the Viceroy of Greenland.